after him hitting the second one.
It's me, Mario. Hello. Okie dokie.
Okay, so this is Super Mario 64 Red is Dead, released in 2015 by Black Shadow Dry Bones. This is 120 star, which is the any percent category for this game, 100% being 135, because that's a totally reasonable amount of stars to bridge the gap between any and 100%. Yeah, it was made in 2015. Or released in 2015 anyway. Work started on it in 2014 or earlier, because in the files of Relax Your Life, there is actually a older version of the metal cap in this game. And Relax Your Life was released in 2014. But anyway, this is the first course of this game, Bully Hell. Fun fact, this level wasn't actually made by Black Shadow Dry Bones, it was made by a friend of him. And he's gonna go for 100s with either the Bully Star or the Slippery Ruler. Either one works. Now, this game doesn't have any red coin missions, except in the final Bowser, hence the name Red is Dead. The riveting plot of this game is that Bowser, instead of stealing just stars, he also stole the red coins and you have to retrieve them. Which is obviously just an excuse to make a hack without red coin stars. Anyway, there's this structure that you have to climb. Twice, in fact. Because there are 2 stars up here. Anyway, this level can be a bit of a reset point. It's pretty difficult. Like, this course should not be course 1, really. I think, like, the easiest level in this game is actually course 10, and it has a theme more fitting for a course 1 than this, but whatever. This is the way it is. This is course 1. The way Katze went up that log is a slower but safer way to do it. You could also triple jump. The thing is, if you mess up the log, especially the second log, it can be very difficult, if not impossible, to recover. There's a star down here, which... Okay, you managed to lava bounce back on the star. You want to jump down onto that box. So if you get knocked down, you can lava bounce off. And you can also do that if you drop down and miss the star. Yeah, I guess he's getting that blue for safety health. even though he doesn't really need it. You have to take a lot of bounce there. There's no other way to make it over. These box wall kicks can be a problem because you can get stuck in... You can ledge grab one of the boxes and you can't pull yourself up, so you fall down and die. Oh yeah, I should switch to Katze stream. I forgot to do that. Anyway, you probably noticed so far that this hack is not very good, to say the least. But it is a fun speed game in my opinion, and a fun game in general, even though it can be pretty repetitive at times and there are far too many wall kicks. The levels are badly made, but most of the things you do in the levels are enjoyable. And you are the reason I'm not running is because internet. It was being complete shit up until RHCQ. It's being a little better now, so maybe after RHCQ I could stream again, but we'll see. And as a result of that, I haven't practiced for this, so I would perform horribly. That was pretty slow, slippery roller, but whatever. You can, as the name of the star implies, slide off that. You just want to avoid hitting the side and you'll most likely be fine. Yeah, a lot of the stars in this game are long. This level is one of the more long levels in terms of length of star. There are plenty of quick stars in this game as well. But I like long stars. Like, short stars can be... Like, it can be satisfying to get stars quick, but I tend to prefer actually being able to play the game for a long amount of time before being kicked out. There's one more star in this level that's kind of hard. The other one's pretty free. This star is star specific, by the way. You need to get star 1 to 4 to unlock this. Also, Katze got to that platform a little different than I would. I'm not sure which way is faster. And he got the star, yay. Furry Labyrinth. Not fiery, furry. SM64 worse than Alejo. I am watching Katze stream now. It's worth its talk in the German version, but this is the English translation, so I'll let Red instead. Red is Dead Extreme Edition never received an English translation.
Here we go!
Yeah, Katze in English it rhymes. Anyway, he's gonna go to this level. It exists. This first thing you do is a skip. You're supposed to go around the other way and wall kick up each section. For one, you have to do a triple jump wall kick. Grab and doing what Katze did is just much faster. Katze's way of doing that is actually a recent development. You used to go all the way over to where the gap is, but recently started moving across to that gap while he's wall kicking, and it's a little faster. That is an unfortunate mistake.
Mamma mia!
That is an even more unfortunate mistake. So yeah, the left side wall kick in this level can stars are the most annoying in this level. There is one that is technically faster than the star you just tried to get, but getting it relies on either getting good fly guy RNG or getting wall kicks between walls that are about 3 nanometers apart, neither of which are very desirable options.
Here we go!
Anyway, he's gonna get this star as backup. Can't say with a British accent, yes. Also, I like to call this level Frame's worst nightmare because of all the eyeballs. If you know the story behind Frame and the eyeball, you'd know why I'd call it that. This level's just really weird in general. It's essentially 2 buildings between each other that you can go behind, but we don't go behind anymore. Used to for the 100 coin route, but I'll get to that in a minute. And then that structure in the middle. That's a good number, TV. Anyway, this is Wingcap. There's actually a sign which gives you a hint on how to find it. But it isn't really much help, because if you see that vertical line of coins, you'll probably think it's a warp anyway, and the sign doesn't help you to find that vertical line of coins. And that level is Wingcap, by the way. Most people probably know the frame eyeball story. Anyway, if you want to be a bit more risky, you can ground pound into that star that Katze just got. Which I do actually, most of the time. But Katze safety strats. Mr. I Empire is not good. I don't think, like, I would be able to avoid the Snippet hitting me there if I land on this, but Katze hasn't fun this game as much as me, even though he has a time that's like 24 minutes faster. Lol.
Here we go!
Anyway, I guess it's getting this star now. Yeah, I have a lot more than that. Also, Katze, you know you can not fall down after getting that star. By, landing on the platform, rather than jumping in it. Not sure whether that's faster, because come to think of it, that, drop is pretty short. It's not anywhere near as long as the one cost free if you miss landing on the platform. Because to land on the platform here, you have to take it a bit slow. Yeah, there are amps here. They can downwarp you and be a bitch.
Here we go!
That's the fly guy that you would use for the other star, by the way. You can also not fall down after getting that star. This going is that course 1 was pretty decent, but just course 4 is quite bad. Anyway, now it's going for hundreds. I'll talk about that in a minute. Oh, that's some 64 expert. Yeah, he uses K's instead of C's a lot in this game. This is 100 coins. The old 100 coin route used to go around the left building and collect a 10 coin star box and then go around the other side and kill a bunch of eyeballs. I like how I'm calling them eyeballs because of frame, even though they're actually called Mr. Eyes. And then you'd do pretty much the same thing as he will do after this. But it's faster just to kill a few more eyeballs. Also, he's killing 2 at a time, so he can collect 1 while he's waiting for the other to die. And Expert mentioned unintended any percent. People run a 1-star category of this game, but it doesn't technically finish the game. Also, I don't think I've seen Katze do this before. Yeah, that's new. I haven't actually seen Katze do that ending before, but anyway, as I was saying about 1-star, it doesn't technically finish the game. It collects the bonus star that you're not going to collect here because it kind of crashes the game. The real, like, unintended any percent, the lowest it could go, if you could finish the game, is 5-star, which would be if you actually did the 1-star clip through Bowser 1, and then Bowser 2 is just a 70-star door, so you can just walk through it. Then you would have to clip into course 14, or not 14, 15, and that's the part which I'm not sure is possible. I tried it for a bit, but it couldn't get it to work. You feel free to experiment with it to see if it's possible. I didn't really try for very long, but there isn't any places to peel J off and there's no bombs. And just trying to push yourself through the door doesn't work. His usernames are Katze789. What I just said will make more sense in about 3 hours when we get to Overworld 3. Or less than 3 hours, actually. Anyway, he's gonna get the other star here, which is just some secrets on these platforms. Pretty simple. That was a whole close squad, but you can still beat this estimate by a lot. Anyway, now it's time for another level, which doesn't really have any theme to it. The first overworld is the worst part of this game, by far. It also has the least fun level in the game, which we'll get to in a bit. Anyway, Katze's gonna do a skip here, which I can't do because I'm bad at games. Otherwise, you'd have to go around this thing, but you can just wall kick up there to skip a significant section of it. This level is one of the worst made main courses in the game, but it's pretty fun to speed through, in my opinion. Anyway, after collecting that star, it will open up a warp to get the second star, which is pretty long. This game is a 3 out of 5 difficulty and it has some pretty long stars like this one. This star takes like 2 minutes. A bit more than that, probably. But getting the star opens up another warp, which allows you to get a series of stars very quickly. So that's why we do it in 120. And in 135, if someone were to ever do that, there would be longer stars than are in this. But the 80% is pretty close to the 100%, so we do have to get some fairly long stars. And of course there are examples like this where long stars open up faster stars. Anyway, that Goomba up there can wreck you. Anyway, this star is called Circle of Life because life is a giant circular structure or something, I don't know. I haven't done 135 star, and I don't want to. Because you wouldn't think it's much of a difference, but it is. It really is. Mainly because of one star in course 14. That I'll get to why it's so awful when we actually get to course 14, but... Also, there seems to be some star that I'm missing in this game. Yeah. 135 is not impossible, can't say, it would just be stupid. Anyway, can't say successfully avoided falling all the way down. Which is good. You could also chain long jump on that rather than doing a triple jump down. But that would be more inconsistent. Also, that slope that he did has a hole in the middle, so you can't just walk up it. Which is actually intentional, there's a sign that tells you about it. Either that or it's just pretending it's intentional and rolling with it. He's getting hundreds. There are a few ways you can go about this, but they all involve getting the blues, going up here, killing enemies, and then collecting the coins along the path. Anyway, this jump is a little awkward. Good run would be about... Yeah, Katze's PB for reference is 253. I was gonna say something. Yeah, there's another way you could get hundreds, which is from the Circle of Life area by killing a bunch of enemies, which is what I did in my actual playthrough, but that takes forever. You need to drop down to get coins from Snuffets and shit. It's just awful. Don't do it ever.
Here we go!
No, Katze has world record.
Here we go!
My PB is 327. Also, you can softlock on that thing after collecting the star. That's a fun thing that can happen. You want to avoid grabbing that star not over the edge, otherwise you'll get stuck on it and then that's it, you just have to reset the game. Anyway, all the remaining stars are really fast. This star is called wall kicks on close walls, but you can actually just avoid the wall kicks altogether by jumping on top of what you're supposed to wall kick off. Yeah, that's a good thing about this level. The warp is a 1-up, so if you lose lives in your previous level, you can get some lives for free. Because you're not getting lives from hundreds, because this level is not an overworld. It is Banish Cap, hence why you spawn with Banish Cap. And if an overworld is not an overworld, but it's actually isn't an overworld, but it's a normal level, then it won't keep your coins after. This hack is the 4th or 5th worst hack, considering serious hacks. Like, it's bad, but there are definitely worse ones. And it is, as I said before, enjoyable despite the madness. Also, you can glitch for that. The intended way to get Dangerous Spiral Staircase, which was the one on top of that, involves climbing up that structure, which would both be very long, and it's not fun to do at all because you will always end up clipping into the wall. If you just touch it. So, but luckily you can just drop down from the top. Anyway, this is Bowser 1. It's a pretty typical Bowser stage, other than being bad. It's just a straightforward run to the end where you'll find Bowser with a star in it. Fun level, except when it decides to crash at the end. Which I know how to avoid, but I'm not sure if Katze knows how to avoid. Like, reliably. And the game didn't crash Pog Jump. Anyway, this is best Bowser fight of all time. Just grab him and let him go. The other two Bowser fights are actually fairly interesting. Oh, I just have a particular way of moving that seems to never crash. Anyway, he's gonna go back to Bowser 1. To get the star in here, and while he's going back, he's gonna get the Toad Star. I actually took the star out of 120 out of my route a while ago because it's kind of slow, but the main reason I took it out was because sometimes it can just not decide to work. So there's this pit here with secrets in it, but you just dropped into this pit, so how are you going to get out of this pit, you ask? Well, you climb up these boxes, which are the typical Black Shadow Dry Bones Queen boxes, and then you do that. And then you need to do that again. You don't actually need to do that again. I don't think Katze knows that, but you can wall kick off that second thing, that second platform you're supposed to wall kick, to triple jump, wall kick, ledge grab onto, and just land on top. Which is what I did. That was apparently a goal. I'm not surprised, because that was a pretty good puzzle one. Anyway, because this level is not actually an overworld, as far as the game is concerned, it was an interesting wall kick. There are stars here. Both of which require the wing cap. You think you might be able to wall kick up onto this platform here, but the wall opposite the blue wall doesn't let you wall kick off it. It's glitchy like that. Anyway, I mentioned earlier that this overworld has the least fun level in the game, at least in 120. And here we are. This level's just not enjoyable because of a very long series of wall kicks that you have to do several times. I don't normally mind the repetition in the wall kick series and the long series of wall kicks in this game too much, but this is a little... yeah. There are boxes there that you can use to help you get up, but using the boxes is slower.
Here we go!
Anyway, that's just a Lump King fight. Things landed about that. I mentioned Red is Dead Extreme Edition here. In that hack, instead of a wall kick series, it's a pair of walls that you have to lava bounce up. And now let's do it again. You have to do this 5 times. I think. Once for the star you just got, once for on top of everything, once for Lump's train path, which you'll get with hundreds, and twice for the secret level that's in here. Which, yeah, you do have to do twice. Because of this game's lack of good warps. Because people can see mad hacks and enjoy them for speed games. Enjoy them as speed games, I mean. Even though this level is pretty boring, I will agree. In general, this is a pretty speed game in my opinion. And again, must mention, this is not the worst game that's in this marathon. Because Madness is in this marathon, and that game's worse than this. Like, the lower quality levels and like, the worst quality levels in this hack are about equate to around about the quality of sort of the average level in Madness. And Super Luigi 64 is just god awful all the way through, but that's not in the marathon anymore. It was, but it... Anyway, while I was talking about this game, he just went to, to that level, which is, where the Vanish Cap switch is located. Which you do activate because it's right above the start, but you don't actually need it ever in this game. The only place there are Vanish Cap switches is in that level itself, and they're not used for anything. But you do get to see the Vanish Cap in the first overworld every time he spawns. Anyway, you'd want at least about 50 coins coming in up here. Katze has enough, but he's getting more for safety, I guess. Or he isn't sure that you don't actually... Because there are 5 coins. Actually, I think there are like 58 coins up here, because there are 3 Goombas, a row of 5 coins, and then 5 Wumps. Wait, no, there's another line of 5 coins, actually. So there's more than that. And there might be more than 5 Wumps. I'm not entirely sure. But getting more coins down here just means you have to get... Oh wait, no, there's 4 Wumps, never mind. I thought there were 5 for some reason. I haven't played this game in a while.
Here we go! Here we go!
How is Madness objectively better design-wise? I mean, this hack. Uh, Expert, there was a. There is a star in this game that doesn't count for anything. I mean, yeah, this game's design is mad. And this game has, like, the level ideas, mostly. The first overworld is a bit, yeah, with them. And the things you do for stars are pretty cool in this hack. Same for, like, Show Life, which is, like, Shadow Drybone's previous hack. Like, I just think the construction of levels in Madness is a lot worse. At least. But whatever. Quality of a hack doesn't matter when you're speedrunning a hack. And it doesn't really matter to me while I'm just playing through a hack either. Like, no matter if the hack is the best thing ever or the trashiest trash they ever trashed, you're still doing the same things, essentially. It's because there's not really much to talk about this level. There's that star he just got in the flower bed, which can be used as a backup if you fall off the beginning platforms. And I think this music sounds like it would fit on a farm level more than anything. Anyway, Katze does a triple jump, a ball kick skip there to get to the warp for the star. Which is another secret platform star. And you have to get back because the star spawns on the structure. Anyway, now we're out of Overworld 1. So we move on to Overworld 2, which is really the bulk of this run. Like, this Overworld has courses all the way from 5 up to 12. And of course it has Bowser 2, and it has Metal Cap, and it has 2 extra bonus stages in it. So this is the largest amount. Also the camera fixes there because of hard-coded camera settings that weren't removed. I think. Actually, come to think about it, I can't think of any point in HMC which does that. Because it's cost 6. Anyway. This level has plenty of potential to go wrong. This jump is kind of difficult, and you could potentially fall all the way back down. But he got it. Also, this level has like the most invisible walls out of any level in the game, probably. Katze just avoided a bunch there. Anyway. Well, we practice this level? Well, let's see how it goes. That wall kicking section, by the way, you don't want to use Lakitu Cam for because it gets stuck behind the level. Anyway, this is going for 100 coins. You can either choose to get more coins down here, or from Goombas, or kill more Goombas when you get to the top section of the level. Where the fuck guys are. Also, there's a Chucky here that sometimes decides to drop down. This time, he stayed up in his place. Also, those things are slippery, so you need to make sure you land on the top of them. Wasn't the route for 4.5 50 star already optimized by you? Anyway, a fun thing to do here is die at the end of this mission. It's happened to be more often than I'd like to admit. Especially, sometimes it can be hard to tell what is a wall and what is a floor, because this entire level is green. This is being played live. Over the internet, not a live event though. Anyway, this star is called Wall Kick or Fly Guy because you can either use Fly Guys to get up them, or you can Wall Kick up there. Also, you want to backflip into that star because that is the most reliable way to get the star, especially seeing as there is an invisible ceiling there. He's chatting in between downtime, like when he collects stars and stuff. Note that there's delay, so when you see the message isn't actually when he posted the message. That's further heightened by the fact that you are watching a restream on the Romhax Don't Click channel. Up there, the Chucky fell off. Triple jump is the most reliable way to get onto that first one. The other ones, you could triple jump, but that would be slower, and doing a jump and then jump kicking. This is a level that's often goes very wrong, but Seems to be going pretty decently for Katze so far. Also, this level, as mentioned in chat earlier, it's just called Space because creative name. There's a sign that says welcome to the space and gives you some details about the level, so I don't think it's referring, as people assume it is, to like actual outer space. Anyway, frame walking time. You couldn't have red stars in Red Dead, could you? Anyway, if you didn't do that frame walking strat, you would climb up like how we did for the other stars up there, and then drop down directly onto the star rather than sort of sliding into it. No, you can't die. You still need to do Tower of Wealth, and it's rapid succession of A presses. And yeah, this warp unlocks after you get Secret of the Black Horse. There's a sign that tells you that. It's pretty simple. The amps can sometimes hit you, and the bombs aren't really much of a threat. In Red Dead Extreme Edition, there are like 17 million amps here. It's pretty funny. Oh, speaking of Red Dead Extreme Edition, this level is entirely covered in well, not entirely, largely covered in toxic gas in that game. And it's black, with fog. Anyway. There are boxes here, the top one holds a star. So you need to triple jump onto the box. If you fall down, you can activate the bomb, which you can still do it while the bomb is trying to attack you, but it's just a bit more of a pain. Yeah, this is the Extreme Edition. I got a peep star save state listening to that just by messing around. Also, something I forgot to mention earlier about Red Dead Extreme Edition is in that slide level, you do a skip, and then activate the timer, and then go across. But in Red Dead Extreme Edition, the wall is raised, so you have to go the intended way. GMD, I was originally going to be racing this, but then my internet started acting up like a while before the event. so I didn't want to do it. Also, as a result, I haven't really practiced this game much, because I didn't expect to be able to run it. But hinted it's being a bit better recently, so maybe I could start streaming again, but we'll see. Why are green? I assume you're asking why are the coins green, and the answer is why the fuck not? Yeah, it also has 135 stars, I think. Somewhere around there at least. Is Red dead? Yes. Anyway, he's gonna do wall kicks because we haven't seen enough of them already. You have to actually do that twice because once for that star, and then another time to get to the metal cap, which is marked by like the only red coin in this game that isn't in Bowser 3. But there's no red coin star here though. It just marks the warp. Also, Katze is jumping here because it's faster when you build up to full speed anyway. So you can just slide across here because ice. Jumping there. The old strat there was to use another spin drift to launch you over, which is a lot easier, but it's also a lot slower. Also, I should probably mention the warps into the level. They just kind of are not in a pipe or a door or anything. They are just sort of, there's a box that marks where they are. And the warp is kind of just placed somewhere in front, so you just kind of have to walk into it. After a while, you start to know where the warps are specifically. Normally, if you kick off the box, you'll land into the warp. Anyway, around good 6 corners. Pretty good typo. Oh, actually, Katze will go up that walk it 3 times because he gets 2 stars in that. In Metal Cap, I would only get 1. Because I'm bad at one of them. And to clarify, that definitely is a red coin because it gives you, rather than just a normal coin with a red coin below, because it gives you 2 health. But if you don't spawn, if you don't have a red coin style spawner in a level, then obviously a red coin style won't spawn. Anyway, this star, it exists. It's probably a lot easier on keyboard than it is on controller. You can get it in an easier but slower way by using the boxes in this version, whereas the extreme distance kind of took those boxes away, huh? To which plays Treasure World? Never. Once Twitch plays Red is Dead. Kappa. These two reds. Anyway, he's gonna go up this particular series of walkets for the final time. You don't actually need the metal cap. It's kind of helpful in a couple places, but it's not really required for anything. So he's just gonna get the other star here. Twitch chokes TD Reds. That would imply that Twitch would be able to get far into TD Reds. Anyway, I guess it's going for... Yeah, I kind of wonder that as well too, Machine, as well as how long Collection Life was made in. Wait, as I mentioned earlier, the metal cap stage in this game, an early version of it appears in Collection Life. So, work was on it in 2014, but we don't know whether we continuously worked on it for very long periods of time. We may have... Right. Also, there's kind of 2 spindrifts stacked on top of each other there, which is why it gives you 2 coins. 6 coins.
Here we go!
Yeah, I don't think this game took as long to make as Last Impact did. And more fun than Last Impact. Anyway, this star exists. You need to get onto it and slope jump up. And you can quite easily fall off. You also need to make sure you don't land too low on this slope thing, otherwise you can slide off. Right. I always think I could soft lock there like you can in Course 3, but I've never actually had it happen. Anyway, this level. This is Dangerous Desert. As you can see, it is pretty dangerous. Those textures are dangerous to your eyes. Roll the Penguin Paradise by 1 second. Yeah. I like how Penguin Paradise only has 2 penguins in it. Which don't even appear on every single star. Or one of them doesn't appear. I think the small one is always there. People actually caring about quality rather than enjoyability, lol. Anyway, the camera is kind of shaky here. You need to be careful with this jump to not bonk into the wall. Well, like, SL5 was good quality and that hack was boring as fuck to play. and most of the trash hacks I've played have been fun to play for me. I mean, I suppose I didn't like Power Star Journey, but that's not quite as trash as this level. Star Revenge 56, yes, that is my favorite game. Anyway, this star is what you would do 100s with if you were to do 100s, like I used to. But... and you kinda hope that the blue coins don't fall in the quicksand. From that, you just kinda need to walk in there, jump over the platforms, don't fall in the quicksand, don't get hit by the pokies 4 times. I think they do 2 damage. We should probably play S1 at some point. Anyway. This section can be pretty annoying. You can do what Katze just did, for example, and you can just miss wall kicks and fall to death, and not to your death. Though actually, if you get a bad angle in your wall kicks, it's possible to just land in the quicksand, and it has happened to me several times. Anyway, this is a recent development by Katze. Instead of wall kicking up there, to, like what you would do for the first set, you can just side flip and wall kick onto each box and then climb up. It's much faster. I think that collision dance game was referring to bonking off the box earlier. I was kind of expecting him to just hit an invisible wall that I'd never seen before and die. Anyway, you're gonna have to do the same thing again, but there'll be a wing cap there this time. I've tried to develop a strat to do this without the wing cap, but it doesn't seem to work. And before Katze just surprises me with a new strat where he gets it without the wing cap. What about Treasure World 182? That would be longer than Night of Doom 152. Like, the star is on that wall up there, and it's too high to just, like, triple jump dive onto, and it doesn't seem like you can triple jump wall kick and ledge grab back onto it. So, at least for now, we're stuck with doing this. You can actually fly directly over to this platform here, but I only did it once accidentally, and I've never been able to replicate it. Seems like you need to manage your speed pretty well to be able to land on that platform. Anyway, that's it for course 8. Now it's on for Tower of Wealth, or Tower of Poverty as I like to sometimes call it. And this level is essentially just a lot of climbing. It's a pretty fast star there. That's the fastest star in the level. Other than maybe near the blue coins if you get it on its own. But I think first climbing is still probably a bit shorter than that. Anyway, this star is called Half the Way. So called because you go half the way up the level. I mean, it's kind of a tower. It's not very wealthy, but it's kind of a tower. Whoa, that invisible wall. Also, this level has petro spots in it. Just thought I'd mention that. This level is pretty fun because it's just climbing up the tower. Collision in this game isn't usually that bad. It's just got a few spots where it's... At least in terms of invisible walls, there aren't normally that many. No, there are things with more collision, not on invisible walls. Wait until you get to course 10, that is some funny collision. On houses. I think in Red is Dead Extreme Edition this level is actually in night. And it looks a lot better in general. Red is Dead Extreme Edition actually looks quite a bit better than this game. In terms of the texturing and stuff. Also has parallel Lakitu cam. So it did actually improve the game. What's wrong with round towers? Golly. Also this star. Funny story about the star, I used to not be able to do it at all. And it unlocks a star after it, next to this blue coin switch, that you will get with hundreds. Back when I couldn't do this star, I used to do hundreds with a star that Katze doesn't get, where you go on top of the level and... and jump on some boxes. That star is pretty inconsistent as well, though. And yeah, Registered Extreme Edition. There are some parts that aren't really that difficult, but there are parts in it that are very difficult from what I can tell. The Bowser 2 in Registered Extreme Edition is insane. Oh no, how dare this hack of an Extreme Edition of it? How dare me. Registered Extreme Edition is a pretty... like, it's bad because it's this game still, but... it's got some cool challenges as an extreme hack. And some people might like it in the fact that it's not like Night of Doom, where there's quicksand everywhere. It's a lot more like Super Mario 74 Extreme Edition in its style. Anyway, that's the star next to the blue coins which I was talking about. You need at least 55 coins coming down here to get the 100s. Although, technically, you could also spin around the Change Helmet's pole to grab some coins. Oh, Fire Pit, he just has one more star left in this level. Which, is the same concept as that star in Metal Cap, where there's just a pit of fire that you have to kick into to avoid dying. There's also a star like that in Relax Your Life, and Relax Is Over. Which is the Extreme Edition of Relax Your Life. That isn't as hard as it is. Actually, it's impossible because of stupid things. Never mind. I'm surprised I haven't seen that style of star more often in hacks, actually. Anyway, now it is time for course 10, which, as I mentioned earlier, is the easiest level in the game as the 10th course in the game, because what the fuck is logical difficulty progression? But yeah, this level is kind of a reboot. There isn't much quicksand in this hack in general, though. And course 15 has quicksand that's green. But I suppose the quicksand in course 8 is red. Even though in a speedrun this level is not entirely free, there are a few things that you can screw up and lose time on. This is made by Black Shadow Dry Bones. Who also made a couple of other hacks. Most of the Black Shadow Dry Bones hacks are TT64 hacks only. Nice bonk into the Goomba. Anyway, this star, is kind of annoying because Black Shadow Dragons doesn't know how to make collision. Once you know which parts of the roofs are solid and which part you kind of clip through, it's not that bad. Also, walls are just a suggestion. And you may notice that the houses are kind of floating below the surface, so when you come out of them, you are below the ground. Quality. Pure quality. This music in this level is awesome, though. Almost accidentally went into this then. Also collecting those previous stars makes this warp appear. Wait, he doesn't get the shell here anymore? Okay. That's interesting. Anyway, hundreds time. The fastest route for hundreds is to get all those blues up there and then the other coins. And there are these blue coins from the giant Goombas. You can miss one of them. And that one kind of went into the house, so he's missing that one. The remaining 10 of some of these blocks. Sometimes some of the coins can fall down, which means you have to go down after them. But there you got good coin RNG. Maybe people are watching this because they're here to see a speedrun of a hack that they probably haven't seen before. Because this hack is pretty obscure. And, as I've said before, quality does not matter so much when you're doing speedrun. This is Anti-Star Road. Yes. Star Road is well made. Not all that fun, and this is the opposite. Actually, Star Road is alright, it's not my favorite hack. Anyway, this level exists. This is Optical Illusion Tower. There's not really many optical illusions on display here, but that's what it's called. I think it's called that because of the invisible walls. Not invisible walls, the non-solid walls that hide things. And that's not really an optical illusion, but whatever. And the music here is incredible, by the way. But this level is fun when you don't screw it up horribly. Which unfortunately happens a lot if you're me. Anyway, yes, getting this stuff first. This level has Hevos, everyone's favorite enemy. This star is called Thwomp Path, even though there are more Hevos on this path than Thwomps, so it really should be called Hevo Path, but whatever. Quantity gaming. Yes. Not quality, quantity. Anyway, you need to get these first 2 stars. You got the 2nd star first for, some elevators to spawn that will allow you to get star 3 and 4. And then after getting that, actually, no, I think it's after getting star 5, a warp will appear in one of the boxes. So this level kind of forces you to do long stuff to get that stuff. Also, the Bob-on Buddy at the start of the level, which gives you information about the level, disappears. I guess Black Shadow Dragons replaced it with one of the other objects up here. Also, the slope, if you move down on a... If you move down on a slope, then you will gain speed. And as Katze said, this level is very long. It's 20 minutes. His goal is 25 minutes. That's actually, which is actually worse than mine, surprisingly. My gold was in my PB. It was like 21 something. By the way, this isn't just 20 minutes for 7 stars. This split also includes a bonus level called Bully Playground, so it's not as long as it sounds. It's still a fairly long level though. There are a few ways that you can go about these elevators. If you side flip off an elevator, then it won't eat your jump. also if you backflip off an elevator, it won't eat your jump. So you can use that to your advantage. Fortunately, we won't get to see the other elevator star because Katze is too much of a wimp to get it. The one in cost 14, I mean. I say fortunately, I meant unfortunately. These wall kicks are kind of a pain. Whatever. He bonk jump, that's not what I would do. What I would do there is, double jump onto the platform, then do a slope kick to land on that platform below. Yeah, my split is 21 stars. It's 11 stars. My split is Optical Illusion Tower plus Bully Playground. Because you sort of get one within the other, so it makes sense to group them together. Though I do separate Hills and Path of Heaven, because you just get Path of Heaven and then Jasmine's Hills. I could open Live Split right now to tell you what it is exactly. Oh no, my PP is slightly worse than my gold actually. I apparently got a 3-second gold at some point, but my best split is 2155.18 or 0.18. And my PP is 2158.34. Anyway, this star exists. You need to be careful. Wait, what? What do you mean you read 9 instead of 6? Anyway, that story just got, you just need to be careful to not fall down between your walls and know which blocks you can skip and which ones you need to land on to be able to do as fast as possible. Anyway, the star it's gonna get now is called Climb to the Summit, even though it's not a mountain or a hill, so it can't really be called a summit. But this star is just enjoyable. It's a long series of challenges to climb up to the top, and I love stars like that. Anyway, more elevators. Like Shadow Dragons is kind of a fan of of these elevators, which I don't see used in ROM hacks that often. We did wall kicks there to speed up the process of climbing up these boxes a bit. And, okay. Climbed up that rather than walking across. Wait, Katze, what are you doing? Why did you go over there? That's slow. You can just long jump straight onto the platform. What exactly is your goal here, Katze? Oh wait, no, Katze doesn't have the best segment displayed on his splits, does he? Anyway, we're gonna abuse the star-specific Act 6 warp to get hundreds in a fast. We're also gonna leave star 6 till the very end. So we can just select the star straight away and do it rather than having to move your star select to Act 6. Also, we missed a coin there. But I think the route he does with the coins gives him more coins. Maybe. I don't actually remember how much coins I typically have after that. Anyway, we don't actually get hundreds with a star here. We get hundreds with an entry to this level. This is Bully Playground. It's a sweet little bonus level that you can find within Course 9. One thing you may notice is that another thing that Black Shadow Drybones is a fan of is these bullies. Black Shadow Drybones love bullies. Black Shadow Drybones is a bully. Wait, this is a star in that box. In contrast, yeah, 3 different textures in that level, in contrast to Course 9 itself, just one texture for pretty much the entire thing. Also, think about this hack is... Well, actually, there's 2 textures, never mind. Actually, there's 3 textures here as well, I'm drunk. I was gonna say something, but I forgot what it was. Yay. Also, there's a missing texture there. Because why not? You saw what? Or I saw what, Katze? Anyway, he's got one more star in... Wait, no, I think he's got two more stars in bully hell. 2249 is my gold. Is your gold. Okay. My gold split is actually... One of my gold splits is actually better than Katze's. That's surprising. Yeah, so he has two more stars in bully hell and then the remaining star in this level. Oh, not bully hell, bully playground. Bully hell is cost 1. This is kind of a warp here. And then I haven't actually seen Katze use that strat before. An 80 star run, like, TP's 80 star run wouldn't have happened yet. This is only the second non-star revenge game being run. Anyway, this last star in Bully Playground is in a tree. And this tree can be soft locked on. So, yeah, don't do that. I've only soft locked in here once. Very stupid thing to soft lock. Also, I'm pretty sure the way Katze does this star kind of removes that threat anyway. Abuses the... Well, what else would it be, Katze? He abuses the bad collision to collect the star. Not much else I can say about this level. This last star in Optical Illusion Tower is a flying secret star. Which is what this warp is intended to be, so you don't have to climb level twice. This is a slightly different route than one I do. It seems like it's faster. I don't know, I haven't really bothered to time anything for this game.
Here we go!
Okay, so now your goal is better than mine. God damn it. Anyway, he's gonna go to Path of Heaven now. This level is interesting. I refer to this level as Death Barrier. Because this has the problem of Death Barrier being way too close to where you stand. Pretty much if you veer slightly off the platform, you'll die. due to being too close to the death barrier. So that prevents some little shortcuts that you could do in this level, because if you do them, you'll die. Essentially, this level is a bunch of platforms strung together by these boards that are actually slow sinking quicksand, or sinking sand, as it is actually called. Anyway, all the stars in this level are prefixed by holy, and like that's holy stairs, because this is the path of heaven, so of course all the stars in it are holy. Anyway, after getting the 100s, you will... this level becomes much more enjoyable because you can speed through it with the shell, though you need to be careful not to fall off the edge, because as previously mentioned, you'll die if you do that. So you'd think you'd be able to like skip parts of these platforms, but the death barrier does not allow that to happen. And I think he's going to go for the best star first. There's a couple... this star can be kind of annoying because of the death barrier, but the way Katze does it with the shell is a helpful way to do the death barrier, while still being somewhat fast. And as you can see, the star is called Holy Shit. Which is a good name for a star, if I do say so myself. Generic budget, yes, because as we all know, hacks are funded by money. I mean, I suppose Katze did accept donations for Last Impact. Anyway, this star is similar to that other star he got with hundreds, except this one's in a different place. He actually learned this because Marv wanted him to. As motivation to run it again, but then Marv kind of didn't run it again, and then I picked it up just because I thought it would be fun. I actually picked this up because of curiosity, and it was just like, this hack is apparently bad. Maybe I should play one. And I discovered that this one is pretty fun. And then after a while I beat Katze's record, and then Katze saw me beat his record, and he took it back. by a long while, and now I feel bad, man. My PB is actually worse than Katze's estimate. Partly due to Katze being better than me, and partly due to new strats that he discovered. And, routing as well. You can't actually stand on those platforms, except for one of them, so you need to push your way into them to grab the secret. But this is a pretty fast level. And this level either goes very well because it's not really that hard, or you like fall into the death barrier about 17 billion times and it goes horribly. Oh yeah, Katze has a 2-minute time save here because he died a couple times. And he fucked up Yasmin's Hills. I still don't know whether it's Jasmine's Hills or Yasmin's Hills. Which he does in the same split. I do them in separate splits. But... oh, he's not getting the final star before going to Jasmine's Hills? Okay. This level was made by Black Shadow Dragon's sister. Little fun fact. And there are 4 stars in it, all of which are very fast. Like, I think my gold for Jasmine's Hills is 323 or something like that, at least on these splits. Because I had other splits, then I lost them because of new computer, and then had other ones. For 4 stars, and considering how long it takes to get to Jasmine's Hills, that shows you how quick the stars are here. No, wait. You go the way around Katze just did for that star, because if you use the boxes and you jump, you clip out of bounds and die. And we do not want to die. And this is another level, just kind of been main course. The 2 stars below can be used as a backup if you fuck up the landing, the rolling out on that slope. Because if you roll out on a slope like that, you can walk up it. But if you fuck it up, you slide down, and it can be hard to get back on there. And if that happens, you would either get the star in the water or the star Katze just got. But Katze didn't fuck it up, so he's scaling them after. Right, just gonna get Holy Hall, which sounds slightly sexual, but whatever. Which it's probably a good idea to leave the star for last, because while collecting one of the other stars, you could accidentally fall into this and collect it. And you don't want to do that while the star's already collected. Also, you can just move out of that area and you'll go back onto the death barrier and die. Anyway, it's now going to go to course 11, which is Mario's training camp. Earlier we had Want's training camp. But this one is training Mario. And that's a pretty fast star below, even though Katze fucked it up a little there. Also, there's still German in the name, but there's also English. I don't know why that is. What does their game, or however you even pronounce that, even mean? Does it just mean mini parkour? In which case, the name is mini parkour. And MIPS. MIPS exists. 2 free stars. This is the return of the music that played in Endless Upstairs, and I didn't mention it then, but this music is great-gasm. It's also played in Relax Is Over Course 2, but you don't hear it much in that game because you use Metal Cap pretty much all the time. Speaking of music, this game does have problems with music cutting out if you perform certain animations, such as, for example, if you go into looking ahead mode, then the music will cut out. If you spawn a star, the music cuts out. The music can start to replay after a while. And another thing that can kill the music is hitting blue coin switches, etc. That's another thing that Ready Steady Experiment just improved, that the music doesn't cut out all the time in that game. Funny thing is that in the Extreme Edition of Relax Your Life, Relax Is Over actually added that problem in when it wasn't in the original. So we have his 2 custom level hacks, one of which the normal version has the problem, and another one, the Extreme Edition, has the problem with the music, which is pretty interesting. Anyway, this is Secret Ice Pits. The ice is actually lava, and this thing that looks like metal grating is actually quicksand because tree. And all the secret spots are marked with fire spitters, which don't actually shoot any fire because they're on lava. I think that's the reason anyway. And the place where the star spawns is also marked by a fire spitter. And he's gonna get the MIPS for the second time. Interesting thing about this MIPS is this one text box is completely untranslated from German. I guess he just forgot to translate it. Wait, this star that he selected, I'm not sure if the star he's actually going to go for. It's called Deathly Escarpment. I remember when Crouton first played this, he didn't know what escarpment meant, so he was like, what is that a word? Funny. And if I'm remembering correctly, it just means some path sticking out from a main structure or something. I don't know, this is an escarpment. And this one is deathly, not deadly, deathly, because quick sound. Damn. Yeah, a thing that Black Shadow Dragon does, instead of saying deadly, he normally says deathly, which is a word. In the circumstances where he's using it, it would normally be more fitting to say deadly, but he is Austrian, so English is not expected to be perfect. This star is called Climb Up Both Tower. Should be both towers, unless there is a star that is also... unless there is a tower that's called both or something. Anyway, as with Wiggler's Village, there are these giant Goombas that you have to kill that you want to miss one of them. If you accidentally kill one without ground pounding it, or accidentally kill two. If you accidentally kill one and then... like, if you accidentally jump on one and then jump onto another one as a result of that, which has happened to me once, there is a backup free coin box that you can use. Also, Katze getting all the coins, because why? As this means he can miss one of the blue coins, though the blue coins aren't really hard to get at all. And the coins from the 10 coin box don't really drop off ever. That little path there that you just walked past is where the free coin box is, by the way. So I think there's an enemy on top of the tower, so we could kill that if necessary. Anyway, the star is just at the top. There would be another star here, which you use the wing cap and then you'd have to fly across, and to get it you need to be on the very edge of the platform. All that off, but can't say took out that star because it's long and doesn't open up any other stars like in course 9 or course 3. It's the last star in the course. Anyway, Bowser 2 time. This is called Bowser's Furry Empire, because again, Black Shadow Goblins can't spell fiery. First there's a toad star behind it. This level is sometimes a problem. You can fall down into that pit. Also, this thing he's doing here is a skip. You're supposed to go around the other way, and then but you can long jump on there, and then triple jump wall kick up. This level is very bright. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but this hack, every single background is the Bob on Battlefield background, even when it would not be fitting to have that as the background. Also, you can just long jump off there to skip some of the path. Nice false leg trap there. Wait, is this time at 2:20 now? I don't know, because I'm actually looking at Katze's stream for less delay. Even though it's still... Anyway, you want to take this shell over here. At least the estimate's not 4 hours anymore. Do anyway, there's a star behind here. You need to just kick back into there. Get the star. I believe he has one more star in this level and it's free, and then he has the Bowser fight itself. The Bowser fight is actually pretty interesting. This chain chomp can be a bit of a problem when you're trying to hide that shell if you don't get it out of the way. BRB, I guess.
Here we go!
Sorry about that, I just had to leave for a bit there.
Here we go!
Anyway, now he's doing course 14, Strong Flow Island. This level is... Katze only does 4 stars, I would do 6. You don't want to do hundreds here, because... Dark Shadow Drybones accidentally placed the water in this level too high, which is also why you just warp up. Which as a result means you've got underwater chuckies to deal with that you have to carry a long way through the water, and underwater fly guys as well that you just have to kill. And if you get grabbed by a chucky underwater, a glitch called the astral projection glitch happens, where your body is sort of where the chucky is, but Mario's kind of gets transferred up to the top of the water as an invisible structure, and trying to play in that state would just not really work. But hey, at least it's not exactly 100 coins. Wouldn't that be fun? Anyway. Anyway, the last star is just kind of behind here.
Here we go!
Oh, my stream just buffered for a second. And that's all Katze does here. And next up is course 13, Million City, which is pretty weird level. Like, the main city area is suspended above some large plane, and then it's surrounded by that path, which is supposed to go all the way around to get that star, and at some point you'll also be able to climb back up, but there's a skip for it. That was also patched in Redstone Extreme Edition, and the skip in Bowser 2 was patched. I forgot to mention that. The concept of this level is pretty interesting. I like it. You have all these identical houses, except some of them have something notable about them, and each star gives you a little hint as to what to look for. So yeah, this level, when first playing it for the first time, is just about looking for which houses are different, which is pretty interesting. I like the concept of this level. Yeah, course 15 Bowser 3 is chokeable. Work at his Katze Bob, yes. I remember when I had world record in this. Bowser 3 isn't very hard, it's just that if you fuck it up, you'll lose a lot of time. You'll see why that is when we get there. World 3 is my favorite part of the run. So, of course, with this level, when you actually know where everything is, it's just about navigating through, trying to find the fastest path. That was interesting. This hack is a pretty cool speed game, though. Some parts can be pretty boring to watch, I guess. And this is called Slippery Water Ball. even though it's not really water, as the game's could say. It's just a sinking sand with a slippery slope. I mean, autism, this hack does have Stormfall Island hundreds. So... Speaking of hundreds, this hundreds in this level, despite how fast the rest of the level is pretty long. All pretty long, they take like 4 minutes. How to do them, or at least how I do them, is get the coins in the corner at the start. Then, in the level itself, there are these crazy boxes and around that you sort that I would move up, killing enemies along the way, and also getting the blue coin switch that exists. But anyway, now it's time for course 15, which is my favorite level in this hack. So, essentially how this level works is that there are 5 stars that you have to get. This one is the last one, but you can do it first. You actually have to do this path twice, but I don't really mind doing it twice, because it's such a fun path, honestly. In 135, you'd have to do this 6 times. By the way, one of those times you'd have to do hundreds, which would be fast enough for 120, but you can't get them 120 because that would be more than 120 stars. More than the minimum amount of stars required. And anyway, after getting the 5 stars in this level, you pipe spawns at the end of this path leading to Bowser 3. So this is just the gateway to see if you're good enough to access Bowser 3. It is the last examination. That's why it is called the last examination. Also, it's a pretty cool sounding remix of Rainbow Road that doesn't sound very rainbowy and sounds more like a song fitting for an epic finale such as this. Ink. Yeah, this star is long. Nobody wants to do 135 because Stormfall Island hundreds are a thing. I'm pretty sure that's... But yeah, that's finished. Yeah, 135, it would be more than half an hour slower than this, definitely. Anyway, other than the finish star and the star that's beyond the finish that you don't get at 120, and getting to Bowser free level, the rest of this level is very fast. There's the star for the maze, and then there's the other star that's in that wall in the maze, and there's a star that's just off to the side, and the star that you will go on an epic shell journey to. Yeah, you want to do what Katze just did for that star, which is ledge grab the edge to avoid taking fall damage. And taking the time to recover. Anyway. Also, if you go through this the wrong way, you can clip through the floor and you will die. I guess there's quicksand down there. I mean, if there wasn't quicksand down there, it would be death barrier and you'd die anyway. But still, may be annoying when you don't know what to do, but there's a good visual cue for being able to get it. Anyway, it's going to come up on the 120th star. Which is going to be this one. Instead of dropping down straight away, you can also go over the top for a bit and then drop down. I'm not sure which one is faster, but it won't be a huge difference either way. Also, you can do a slide kick there to make use of the speed you got from riding the shell. Okay, now it's time to do that path again. By the way, actually, I'm gonna wait for a bit for what I was gonna say. Actually, I'm gonna say something else. In the challenge mode that TV came up with, where you take damage every time you when you press a button. I tried this star and I was able to get about halfway by using Fly Guys and Hevos to shave off button presses. But once you get to certain point, you end up having 1 health, and you have to press a button to not take fall damage. And no, Aglab hasn't got a layout for Red is Dead. In the README files for this game, there is a list of how many stars each level has. Though I think one of the vaccines is wrong. Though in this game, there is one star that I'm missing from somewhere, and I don't know where it is. Like, I have 133 stars. One of them is Strong Fire 100s, which I've never really been bothered to get. Actually, no, I have 132 stars, one of which is a star that crashes the game that still increments your star count. One is Strongful Island 100s, and one is some unknown other star. There isn't a layout for this game, Croton. Though I could compare mine to Autism, who I think has got 100 or 135 stars. Anyway, this is Bowser free. You don't actually have to move for a lot of it, because the game will... What is he doing? No, it was released in 2015. Yeah, there are reds there. You're supposed to retrieve them. But this is any percent, so we don't do the entire point of the game. Yay! Also, I swear what Katze did was still worth it. Ah, miss throw. I like this hack. It's not good objectively, but it's enjoyable. And it has some cool ideas. And Overworld 1 was, eh. Anyway, congrats on the world record. Congrats on making me cry, Katsu. Kappa. Oh, speaking of UAV, shoutouts to Marv for his almost 6-hour PB in this game.